Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and this is part 2 of the Introduction to Design System series. If you haven't watched the part 1 video, I would highly recommend you to go and check it out first so that you can understand the part 1 and the basics that I've explained there. In part 2, we are going to understand atomic design framework on which all the modern day design systems are built. So, let's get started. So let's first understand atomic design framework. It's a popular design framework theorized by designer Brad Frost, and most of the modern design systems are based on this framework itself. So if you see from bigger companies like Airbnb, Atlassian, Shopify, Google, right, to even smaller startups, all of them are now using atomic design framework to build their design systems. So it's a pretty impressive framework that he has designed, and you can read more about it on his own website, bradfrost.com. I will link it in the description below. You can check it out yourself. So what is this atomic design theory all about? So it takes inspiration directly from the nature. In nature, you have atoms, molecules, compound that creates everything in this entire universe. The same way in the atomic design theory, it says that the entire design system can be broken down into few entities, and one of those entities is known as atoms. An atom is basically a fundamental building block of a design system. For example, color palette, typography, iconography, spacings, and shapes. These are the elements that creates the basic atoms in any design system, and you have to start with these atoms to build your design system grounds up. These are the foundational layer of design systems, right? So that's what an atom is. Let's move on to molecules. So molecules are basically combination of atoms. So for example, buttons, toggles, tooltips, checkboxes, input field, etc. are the ones that are called molecules. So if you see if I show you a button here, it is created from a shape, a color, and a typography, right? And a type. Similarly, this tooltip, it has a shape, it has a type, it has a color. Similarly, these toggles, right? Shape and color. So you're using different atoms and combining them together to build these molecules, okay? The next thing is organism. So when you combine a lot of molecules together, you create organisms. They are slightly bigger entities than molecules, but they are formed when you combine molecules. And for example, navigation header, sidebars, button, sheets, card, etc. So if you see here, like this example, you have a tabular design, a tabular header, which contains a button, right? And these buttons are again molecules, which are again created from atoms. And if you see a navigation header here, it contains shape, it contains a text, it contains icons, it contains avatars, right? So you've combined a lot of molecules together to build these organisms. The next thing is called templates or pages, and templates of pages are basically combination of atom molecule organisms. So you can combine all of these three together to build different templates or pages. And templates and pages are something like this, where you have combine everything together in any possible permutation combination that you require for your application, right? So these are called templates and pages. Now let me just quickly recap what we have covered so far. So atomic design theory says that on a very basic foundational level, you have atoms. So these atoms are either typography, color, shapes, and iconography, right? So you first have atoms, right? And now these atoms combine together to create something known as molecules. And in molecules, you will have like buttons, you'll have checkboxes, right? You have input text fields, all of these things, okay? So now you build molecules. Cool. The next thing is when these molecules combine, they create something known as templates, they create something known as organisms. And these organisms are basically your headers, right? Your modal, your sidebars, etc. So these are known as organisms. And once you combine all of these three things together in any permutation combination required for your organization, you create something known as a template. Okay, so you create something known as a template or a page, and this basically contains the overall UI or a page or a web page, navigation, everything here. Okay, so a page contains a combination of all these three together. Okay, so this is what the atomic design theory says that, and we are going to use the same nomenclature when we build our design system, when we build our component library in Figma. So take a note of it. It's very simple to understand. I hope you understood it. And yeah, this is it for today's video. This is it for the part 2 of the video. Stay tuned for part 3. And in part 3, we are going to be hands-on in Figma directly, and we'll learn how to build component library and style guide in it. Okay. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the part 3 of this video. Take care. Bye-bye.